This isn't a running simulator. This isn't Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. You aren't a prisoner of war. This is the motherfucking zombie apocalypse, where the lines of good and evil get blurred. Knowing your blood type is important, and having a firm grip on your morals will be the difference between a murderer who kills on sight and a legendary hero of the land. Fire. How not to be a noob in Dayz standalone. Alpha. Before I get you little coastal cuties geared up like you're about to invade Normandy, I want you to ask yourself one question. If my neighbor's life was in my hands, would I sacrifice mine for his? If the answer is yes, you better be sure on that, because you will be tried and you will be tested. If the answer is no, you are missing 90% of what Dayz is actually about. So let's look at the basic survival of standalone, then the best places to find weapons and gear, and the difference between a baddie bandit and a legendary hero. Spawning. Immediately upon spawning into the Dayz map named Chernarus Plus, it can be extremely confusing. I will put a link of a map in the description where you can find where you are by looking for signs of the city you are in and correlating it to the locations on the map. In Dayz, you spawn with nothing but the clothes on your back, a flashlight, and some batteries. To use it, you must first drag the items to your hotbar in the bottom, then add batteries to the flashlight. Finally, right-click the flashlight in your inventory to turn it on. This concept of right-clicking to activate an item and then equipping it in your hands is how you use most items in Dayz. This action of dragging an item to your inventory and then equipping it in your hands is also how you use everything, including maps, compasses, weapons, blood bags, and refilling water bottles. After you get orientated on where you want to go, it is best to remain stealthy against zombies until you find a weapon. Most sheds and residential houses have melee weapons like crowbars, axes, knives, and bats. Find a weapon and backpack as soon as you can to arm yourself. Also, your default clothes don't have many pockets. Try finding some cargo pants and jacket for the inventory space. Health. Your health has multiple factors to it. The amount of food and liquid in your system determines the state of your health. To achieve a healthy state, as seen in your inventory here, which will rejuvenate your blood over time, you must first eat until you are full, then drink until you are full, which will appear as a notification in the bottom left of your screen. Once you achieve this state, you will see a healing or healthy message in the inventory window, and you will slowly regain your blood over time. Waiting until you see I am hungry or I am thirsty notifications is doing the bare minimum. Food you can eat includes rice, cereal, cans of spaghetti, and fruit. You can open cans of food with anything from a fire axe, kitchen knife, bayonet, and can opener. Depending on which item you use to open food, you will find that it is more efficient to open food with a can opener versus fire axe, since you spill some of the food with the axe and none with the can opener. Drinks come in the form of cans of soda, water bottles, and canteens. Water bottles and canteens can be refilled at any of the wells located everywhere through the Chernarus Plus map, as seen here. If your legs become broken, you can use a morphine to fix them, and if your friend goes unconscious, you can use an epinephrine pen to wake them up. The morphine you can administer to yourself and others, but the EpiPen can only be used by someone else on you or you on someone else. You can't use an EpiPen while you're knocked out. Finally, if you can't achieve a healthy state that rejuvenates your blood, you will need to get blood from another player and have them administer it to you. Make sure you both use a blood test kit, otherwise if you use blood from an incompatible source, you will go into shock and die. Here is a diagram of what blood types can receive and what blood types can give to other blood types. Once you take the blood from your friend, you must combine it with an IV kit. After combining it, it is then ready to be administered to someone. If you have achieved a healthy state, the blood you lost will slowly rejuvenate over time. Finally, if you find yourself bleeding, you can either use a bandage or rags. Rags can be crafted from clothing by simply tearing up the clothing into rags. Once you tear them up, you must then put them to your hotbar, then use your mouse to activate them. When you are bandaged, you will see a notification in the bottom left of the screen that you are no longer bleeding. Gear. There's literally hundreds of items in Dayz, from hoodies, jackets, combat fatigues, motorcycle helmets, holsters, masks, and much more. To reach these items, you must simply loot every building you see. 99% of the buildings on Chernarus Plus have loot in them. When you feel you found enough of the basic gear, you can head to some military installations. Currently, there are many military installations located throughout the map. This is where you will find your M4, Kevlar helmet, hunter backpack, and combat fatigues as seen here. You can find the most abundant magazines, ammo, and weapon attachments in the outposts only located in South Balota Airfield here and north of Northwest Airfield located here. Both these locations are extremely dangerous due to the high volume of military loot, so I will go over some other places you can loot with equal loot chances. North Kamika Military Outpost has a few military barracks to loot as seen here. Keep in mind when you are looting barracks to look at the top of lockers and to go prone and search under the beds. Southeast Vybor Military Base has a few barracks and a military prison as seen here. Zelenogorsk has a military prison to loot as well. North of Northwest Airfield has a military prison and well outside. Keep in mind that most baddie bandits will be simply camping these locations and kill on sight. Make sure you go in nice and slow on your approach and loot and exit as fast as you can. Once you find all the gear you can possibly hold and are confident you can survive against both zombies and the conditions of the land, you may be asking yourself, what next? This is the great struggle in Dayz. You must decide your destiny, and remember, fear is the path to the dark side. And as Sun Tzu says in The Art of War, you must know your enemy. So let's look at bandits. Bandits once had honor in Dayz. Hard to believe, I know, but it's true. A bandit used to hold you up for your beans or other gear. Now the name bandit is associated with someone who simply shoots and kills people on sight for no reason. So let's study the mentality of a bandit, since I myself used to be one. The bandit mentality is very simple. They are scared of other players, they see everyone else as a threat, and the only possible solution to that threat is to terminate it. They will do anything from snipe high-value loot areas like Electro and Cherno to camp inside the barracks waiting for someone to simply open the door. But fear not, most of them think in a very linear term. Sniping at new players in positions that only bandits would snipe from provides excellent target practice for counter snipers. Justified homicide in Dayz is pretty gray, but a guy looking over a city with a sniper, it's pretty easy to spot his motives. Bandits are a part of the Dayz experience. As scummy as some of them can be, the fact that them killing you on sight ruins all your gear will hopefully give them reason not to. Regardless of the Neanderthal kill on sight mentality of the bandit, you must respect your enemy. And above all, you must not let them turn you to the dark side. If you get killed 99 times trying to help people but are able to save a single survivor on the 100th try, it's still worth it to that one survivor. Heroes. Heroes are Dayz legends. They are players that make Dayz a better game. They can run solo, in groups of 2, or even small squads like the Wolfpack. Ow! They're highly trained with military precision and can be extremely dangerous if they need to be. The rules of engagement are simple for heroes. They only shoot players when shot at or are provoked to. They never kill unjustified and do their best to provide guidance, help, and support to new survivors. The saying nice guys finish last does not apply, since heroes have a higher calling, and no matter how many times people kill them on sight, they can never be turned. They also exhibit extraordinary patience with new survivors, like mentors, helping everyone and anyone from the moderately new to the fresh coastal cutie. If you find a hero, try asking him if you can tag along or for some advice, and they will give you information that will keep you fed and safe for your journey. Heroes generally work in groups and have multiple members not always seen. The best heroes have a sense of servitude and make their gifted skills a responsibility to protect other players, not destroy them. If you are unsure of the style of player you are or you want to be, I put a list of bandits and heroes in the description you can check out. I myself was a bandit for the Arma 2 and Arma 3 mod, but I find helping new players is so much more rewarding than hurting them. Plus, you get the best of both worlds. You kill the baddies and save the survivors, which is epic. Any Neanderthal can kill on sight. It takes skill to risk your life to make a new friend, especially when you only return fire when you have been engaged. But as I said before, you must respect your opponent, and if bandits didn't exist, I wouldn't have any real competition in Dayz, so I can't diss them too much. Pro tips. In the current alpha build of Dayz standalone, there's only 2 rifles available, the Mosin and the M4. To use the tactical flashlight on the M4, you need this handguard with a rail on it. Once you find it, replace the stock one and you can attach a tactical light. Add a battery to it, turn it on, and you're good to go. The Mosin can only hold 5 shots at once and must be manually reloaded in the inventory screen. To maximize the speed of your reloadability, keep the ammo on the top portion of your shirt to minimize drag time. If you find yourself to be O negative, that means you are a universal donor. Achieve a healthy state and get a buddy to take a few blood bags for you to hold on to. That way, if they're needed, you will have universal blood to give to everyone and you can use on yourself even if you die and your buddy saves the blood bags. The yellow box protects your gear from getting damaged if you are shot. It only takes 4 slots but holds 6, and I recommend only putting in critical items in it. If you hold your fists out like you're going to fight and then run, you run at an increased speed than any other stance. It's a little bit dangerous running without a gun, but the trade-off is you run so much faster. Saline bags are universally received. They will restore color if you are washed out from loss of blood. And the rest you will discover for yourself or die trying.